Hey everybody, Ed Homewood, Old Guy Hi-Fi channel. I hope everyone's doing well today. Today is just going to be a recap video of the AXPONA show, and I want to cover some of the things that I saw, some of the really great meetings I had, and some of the cool product I may have coming in. I think most of it I'm pretty confident about. So anyway, sit back, relax, and we'll do a little recap of the AXPONA show. Well, as you may or may not know, the AXPONA show is North America's largest audio show. It brings out about, I think this year's attendance was somewhere around 15,000 people. Big show, fills a big hotel in Schaumburg, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. And every major manufacturer shows up. Some of the legacy brands, you know, the mass market legacy brands don't really show up anymore. But then given their current circumstances, I guess I don't blame them. There was a great turnout from everybody here in the United States and Europe. There was also some great turnout of products from overseas in Asia as well. So a couple of the highlights, or many of the highlights that I had, are this room here, which was Advanced Paris and PMC speakers. So what you see there on the top is the Advanced Paris MyConnect 250, and right below that is the Advanced Paris A12 Classic. Now, you may or may not know the Advanced Paris A12 Classic, the one I reviewed, I like so much, I bought it, so it's not my new reference amplifier. Those are the PMC Prophecy 7 speakers, brand new speaker from PMC. I should be getting those speakers in relatively soon for review, so that's a nice one. Now, in the same vein with the folks at Playback Distribution who do Advanced Paris and PMC, they also do TAC and Esoteric and Vienna Acoustic. So you'll see here, those two amplifiers are with the view meters. They're actually stereo amps, but they're bridge mono. So those are the brand new AP507 amps running in mono. Now I'm going to get both of those amps to run in mono. I'll also be getting the PE505. You'll see the PE505 phono preamp in that rack. I already did a review on that. But what you also see at the bottom there is their UD701N DAC streamer. I might get that along with the CG10MX Master Clock, which is the one with just the light on it. And those beautiful speakers are the Vienna Acoustic Mozart SE signature speakers. And I'm very confident those will be in soon. I got to get through some stuff here. I'm looking in the other room. I got to get through some reviews before I can bring anything else in. Now, in the next picture, you're going to see a product that you may not be familiar with, a company called Java Hi-Fi. They do some really beautiful GaN-FET amplifiers. That is the carbon double shot, I believe. And that I should have that sometime this summer. A really, really interesting piece, and I'm sorry I don't have the price on it. I think that is a brand new model. Now below that, you'll see the Esoteric N05XD Network DAC preamplifier at $12,000. Below that, you'll see the K05XD SACD CD player at $13,000. And below that, you'll see the Esoteric S05 Class A stereo amplifier at $13,500. I'm probably going to get all three of those, probably in silver. So yeah, look for that review coming soon. I don't know if I'll get them all at once or in piecemeal, but it appears that Esoteric is willing to work with me. That's great. Those speakers you'll see are the Vienna Acoustic Lists, L-I-S-Z-T, List, reference speakers at $20,000 for the pair, and they sounded beautiful. Now, the next thing you're going to see is one that was really interesting to me, and it's a new company called MJ Acoustics, and that's their Henley subwoofer. Now, it's $5,200, but as you can see, it's got this beautiful app that you can run with it. It works wonderfully. It gives you a ton of control. It's probably the best subwoofer app I've ever seen. And yes, I'll be getting one of the MJ Acoustic models in. I don't know that it'll be that exact one. Now, going over to our friends from Italy, Unison Research, you'll see the S6 Black Edition. That is their tube Class A 40-watt amplifier using KT77s. That amplifier is sitting over there right now. That's a beautiful $7,000 integrated. Does have a built-in DAC. A wonderful sound. And I have it in because I also have the Opera Calais loudspeakers in, which you'll see a review of soon. Now, those floor standers that you see, those are the new Opera floor standers, part of their Classica line. I don't remember the model number or name. you know, I was drinking from a fire hose at the show. They're about $7,000 for the pair, so very, very affordable. And then now you'll see some Amphion speakers. Those are the new Argon 7 LS at $7,200 for the pair. There is a very good chance I should be getting those sometime. You know, these are going to be all kind of rolling out over the summer as I have to get through the reviews before I can bring anything new in. And it's just from a timing standpoint, I'm going to be a busy boy, and I'm happy about that. Now, we went into the Isoacoustics rooms and saw the team from Isoacoustics, great company. I use their products all over. I use Isoacoustics Gaia Feet on all my speakers, whether they're in for review or they're my personal speakers. I always put Gaias on them. It makes a big difference. I used to be a spike guy. I'm now an isolation guy, absolutely. That said, too, the folks at Stack Audio will be sending me some of their UVA speaker isolators as well to test. And I do have some of their turntable stuff. Their Serenity Matte, I think, and their Serene stabilizer. Next, this one's exciting. Martin Logan. Talking to them, I think I'm going to be able to get a pair of the Impression ESL11A at about a $12,000 or so combination electrostatic and powered subwoofer loudspeaker. That should be a ton of fun. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Luca Chesky was at the show. What a great guy. His dad was there too. What a great kid. I'm really impressed with him. Young man starting an audio company. And those are his LC1s. They're about $1,000 for the pair. Other people have covered them, but I'm actually going to have a pair come in for review. I'm not sure when. I know he's stretched pretty thin on production, and obviously, you know, taking units to send out to reviewers takes inventory away from stuff that you could sell. So I get that. Now, this one was very interesting. John DeVore is one of the great guys, one of the real gentlemen in the hi-fi space, and he built some magnificent speakers. I had a conversation with John. We will continue that conversation. There may be a chance, and normally he does not do a lot with reviewers that aren't in the New York area just because of logistics and everything else, and I understand. But there may be a chance I might be able to review some DeVore Fidelity speakers. That would be great. Now, here was an interesting thing. I was walking through the hotel and someone said, "Oh, you got to go find Harley Lovegrove. He asked about you." And I wasn't sure if that was correct or not. So I went up to Pearl Acoustics, and sure enough, Harley Lovegrove knows my channel. What a great guy. We had a wonderful conversation. We've had several emails since. We're sharing some music suggestions. He even offered, and we may do some sort of collaborative effort. It would probably be focused on classical music, you know, for my music channel, Old Guy Hi-Fi Music. So we'll see where that goes. But I did get a verbal commitment from them that I'm going to be able to get the new 7040 Purify Class D hybrid amp, the brand new amp that they showed at the show. I will be able to get that in. I probably will be able to get the Model 170 single-ended vacuum Class A tube amplifier, and I will be able to get a pair of Sibelius SGs, the top-of-the-line Sibelius speakers. So look forward to that. Another great company from Europe, Electrocompagnie. I met with them. They were wonderful. They saw my review of the ECI6 DX Mark II, and they were very pleased with that. And so they offered me some review samples. And if everything goes according to plan, I may have their AW300M mono amps in. That's $30,000 for the pair, along with their new EC 4.8 Mark II reference preamplifier. That's really nice. Now, we went up and saw our friends from Czechia and went and saw the acoustic quality, the AQ speakers. You remember I did a review of the AQ Canto 3s. Well, the Canto 4s are the floor standards you see there. They're going to be coming my way, and I'm looking forward to reviewing that. You'll also see there a photo of their bookshelf speakers, and the ones in the middle are the Labradors. They're about $1,200 for the pair. By the way, the Canto 5s are only $5,000 for the pair, and they're beautifully built. You look at the cabinet shape. Anyway, the Labradors are about $1,200 for the pair. They're sitting right there right now. I have them here already, so look for a review. Those coming soon. And I apologize, I'm looking at a little bullet point thing so I can keep on track. The next one is, and this one I'm looking forward to and been looking forward to a long time, the Vincent SV500MK. This is a $2,000 50-watt Class AB hybrid tube preamp integrated amplifier. Man, I've listened to it briefly. And it sounds wonderful. I'm really looking forward to the review on this. Really, really excellent piece. Now, this was, I thought this was wonderful. The folks from Fozzy Audio made the trip over from Asia, and they showed a lot of new stuff, and you'll see some stuff in there. There was a language barrier, obviously, and it was very crowded in their room, so I didn't have a great deal of time to really dig in deep, but it kind of looks like a new streamer, and maybe it looks like a new preamp, and maybe something else like a new DAC or something. I don't know, but they showed some new product, and the speakers are new as well. So that's really interesting. I was very impressed with their stuff. Really, really nice. And I also, the folks from FIO were there, and I have a new pair of the FT7 planar magnetic headphones heading my way soon. And they had some new stuff. They showed the S15. I've got that in for review. I'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, so that was that. So then we had Geshelli Labs, and they showed the new Z-Block mono amps, the new Giuseppe preamp, and the new Torque DAC, which is the replacement for the Daisy, which they discontinued later at the end of last year. No pricing on these yet. However, this is the trick with these. These are not going to be available from Geshelli direct. You're going to have to go through retailers, and I'm sure there'll be a link on their website as to finding a retailer that you can purchase them from. I don't have any pricing yet. I'm not sure everything's been finalized. They were kind of pre-production prototypes, but it sounded wonderful and they looked beautiful. And I think it's a real step up for Gino and Sherry and the family. Really, really nice. Well, while we were on the 12th floor on the Geshelli wing of the Renaissance Hotel, seriously, they had like 6 or 8 rooms. I don't remember how many it was. In one of those rooms was our good friend Neil Blanchard of Neil Blanchard Design. Neil was showing off some of his wonderful transmission line speakers. He showed the Tower 6 MLTL, and by the way, MLTL stands for Mass Loaded Transmission Line. And they sounded beautiful. You remember I did the stand mount version of those, the blue ones. They were gorgeous sounding. He showed off the Tower 4 MLTLs. You would not believe the bass response out of that little 4-inch driver. Marvelous, just wonderful, really, really excellent, surprisingly good. No, it shouldn't be surprising. Neil's a very competent engineer. And then he showed his new 4-inch MTM, mid-range tweeter, mid-range design. I don't know the model number. I don't know about availability, but they sounded wonderful. I know that remember all of Neil's products are available as plans, so you can build them yourself, flat pack, so you can assemble it yourself, or some of them he will assemble, but all that information will be on his webpage. Now, one of the other highlights of the show for me was going to see the folks at Live Audio. Wang Fai Ho, the founder of Live Fai, has been an excellent friend to the channel. He's been very supportive. He's been very generous with his gear. As you guys know, I have the Live Harmony in, I have the Micro DDC and the Micro DAC in, but I got a chance to see these new GAN M mono block amplifiers. Wow, are they beautiful? And guess what? I got an email today. I got tracking numbers. They're on their way to me right now. I can't wait. I also got a chance, for me, it was the first time I'd been able to see it in the flesh, the HP 2A headphone amplifier. Beautifully engineered piece. And guess what? I got a tracking number for that too. That'll be here in a few days. Just marvelous. Now, the GAN M amps run about $4,500 for the pair, and the headphone amp is the same price as a Harmony DAC at $2,700. Now, Alvin from Vinshine, like I said, what a gentleman. He did a cooperative product with Kinky Studio, and it's called the Tai-Hang Power Enhancer, Power Conditioner. As soon as one gets free, he's going to send me one to review. I will also have another power conditioner coming in from a different company, and I can't reveal the brand yet because things aren't finalized yet, but I'll be able to do kind of some general comparisons of those. So it was really fun. Well, I came home from AXPONA with a carload of stuff. It was almost like the back bumper was dragging on the ground. One of the products I was able to bring home was this Michelle Engineering Techno Deck turntable with matching tone arm. What a beautiful, beautiful turntable, about $2,200. It did come with a pre-mounted gold ring, I think EC3 cartridge. I'll put it down here, or EM cartridge. Sounds wonderful. Beautiful, beautiful rig. Now to go with that, I have from Bellison, I have their Radiance Phono preamp. What a beautiful phono preamp. built like a tank. About $3,250 moving coil, moving magnet, but it has an amp. So if I want to change gain on the unit, there's no dip switches. I don't have to open it up and move dip switches around or jumpers or anything like that. You just do it right from an amp. I can adjust the capacitance. I can just adjust the gain, everything right from an amp. It's a beautiful sounding unit. And I'm just starting to get into listening to that right away. Also, I do have the ELAC Debut 3.0 DF63 tower speakers in. I will tell you, they blow the old Debut 2.0 F63s right out of the water, or F62s right out of the water. About the same money too, at $1,300 for the pair. Unbelievable. I also have the Philharmonic, and I've been calling them the BMR towers. They're not. They're the HT towers at about $4,500 a pair. What a magnificently built speaker. What beautiful finish. What an amazing sound. That review will be soon. Man alive, I'm falling hard for those speakers. A lot. Now, I got some good stand mount speakers in, the Q Acoustics 3030Cs, and at $800, these may be another bookshelf giant killer of the year. I'll have to finish my review before I can draw that conclusion, but I am mightily impressed. Q Acoustics was also kind enough to send me the matching stands because they affix to the bottom of the speaker. So that whole combination, I think it's $800 for the pair of speakers, roughly, about $270 for the stand, so about $1,070 for the pair. Really, really nice. And what you can't see in the picture is I also have them on Q Acoustics Gaia feet. Now, from the folks at Oshida, the online retailer, I have a Gustard X26 III or Mark III network streamer DAC, and that uses dual top-of-the-line ESS. I think they're 9039 Pro Mondo giant killer DAC chips, and it's a network streamer. That's in for review at about $1,500. I'm just digging into that one right now, so I really can't draw any conclusions. I also have from Gustard and Oshida the U18 USB DDC reclocker USB interface at $500. This is a wonderful piece. I've been listening to it a lot because I also have the Matrix X-Spitif 3 DDC reclocker in, and that's from Apos Audio, and that's about $500. So I've had those two $500 DDC reclockers in, and they both perform really well. You'll see a review of them shortly. I'm probably going to do the Matrix first since I've had it the longest. But the nice thing I like about both of those DDC reclockers is, unlike the micro DDC from Live Harmony, which is an incredible piece, it's an absolutely incredible piece, but that only has I2S out. Both of these other DDC reclockers will give you SPDIF out on Toslink coax and I believe AES-EBU. I know both have AES-EBU, so much more flexible and much more DAC friendly for other kinds of DACs that you might have. I also have in, and I just got this in from the folks at Apos Audio, was the SMSL PAX GAN FET amp, about $700, a little desktop GAN FET amplifier. I forget what it's rated. I'll put the wattage down here. Interesting design. That just came in, so I'm just listening to it. As a matter of fact, I can see it. It's sitting in the rack right now. I was listening to it last night. So no conclusions yet, but that's in for review. Again, a generous offering from the folks at Oshida. They sent me the SMSL C200 Pro DAC headphone amp. It's about $200, and I've been listening to that, and I have some from the folks at Apos Audio. I have the SJY Horizon headphones, and they're 11 ohms. They're a monster to drive. You know, that little SMSL drove them, and I just listened briefly, but it drove them all right. So that review will be soon. I also have in from Alpha Audio, and you guys have seen it in the back of videos, a red box. It kind of looks like an Ever Solo. It is the Alpha Audio MX5 DAC streamer. Now, this just happened recently. Alpha Audio updated the firmware. They updated their app. It is now a finished product. I believe it is ready for prime time. It is available. The DAC itself, the DAC streamer is about $1,050. There are some online resources to purchase it. There's information at the Alpha Audio website, but do an Alpha Audio MX5 search. It'll come up AliExpress, but it's not available there, and I think it's because I think DHL is suspending some shipments from Asia until things get sorted out. We're in that period right now. But there is also a retailer that you can purchase it from as well. Wow, is this thing beautiful. It uses dual Cirrus Logic chips, which are really nice. Has a dual linear power supply. Nichicon capacitors. It has a USB audio out, so you could go into a DDC reclocker if you want to. It has an I2S in, so you can come in from a DDC reclocker. It is just a beautiful sounding unit. It really is wonderful. So that review will be soon. I had just shot the interior and front and back panel just the other day, so I'm going to sit down and do the final review of that very shortly. That's worth the wait. That's been worth the wait, I think. I also have the FIO S15 DAC streamer in, and you've seen that in the back of shot, and a number of people have asked me about it. I did a little short piece on it, just a little video short. I am still waiting for final firmware and app update for that. It is a beautiful piece. It is magnificently well built. Using it just as a DAC and with its limited functions, you know, that if you're a nerd, you can get into and find. It sounds amazing. It is wonderful. It uses that AKM 4499 chipset I love so much. It is incredibly well built. It is incredibly well engineered. It's just the interface portion of it, just not ready for prime time yet. So fingers crossed that that will be soon. Now, I do have in, and it is ready to go and amazing, is the Shanling SM 1.3 streamer DAC. Man alive, is this thing a beaut. Also uses the AKM 4499 chipset that I love so much. And it has a ton of goes intos and goes outas. That just came in. I've been listening to it briefly. I will, if I can find a picture of the back, I'll show it to you. But that thing is magnificent, and the app is great, and it's easy to use, and it's got some wonderful features and really good interface. I'm really well pleased with that. That unit itself, I think, is going to be about $1,300 if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, I'll put the price down here. But anyway, so the Shanling SM 1.3, amazing, amazing. I also, very nicely from the folks at Darwin Cable, gave me a set of their really interesting interconnects, and I'll put a picture of them here. They are really well designed, really cool. I'll put some details here. I'll include them in a tweak and kind of a system tweak update review, but boy, they sound really good. Anyway, the Darwin cables. And then kind of maybe the pièce de résistance. I was walking down the hallway, and the guys from Magnapan said, "Oh, Old Guy Hi-Fi, we know who you are." And I went, "Really?" And they said, "Yeah, do you want to review some speakers?" And I said, "Sure, what do you want me to review?" And they said, "How about the 30.7s? The 30.7s, those are like 4 big front doors. I mean, they're huge. They're 6'7" inches tall. There's 2 panels per channel because you've got a bass panel, mid-range panel, and tweeter panels. No, I can't get those in my room. Well, how about the 20.7s? All right, let's talk about that, but not right now. They won't fit in my car. What will fit in your car? I said, I don't know. What do you got? He goes, we got a boxed up pair of LRS Pluses. So guess what? I got a pair of LRS Pluses I came home from AXPONA with. And I am really looking forward to digging into those. And they gave me the upgraded stands as well. So I've been listening to them just briefly. I've had so much stuff in for review, as you guys can tell, that I'm kind of playing catch up. I'm drinking a bit from a fire hose. I've got some other new products in, which I'll mention, if they were significant enough, I'll mention them. But again, I got a lot of stuff to review and get in. The Maggies are good. Fortunately, I can have them for a while, and I get to play with them for a bit, and that'll be a lot of fun, so I'm looking forward to that. Wow. So anyway, that's the channel update recap from AXPONA. What an amazing weekend. What an amazing kind of journey this has all been since I started this channel, and I owe you guys, my viewers and my members and my subscribers, so much. Thank you so much. Anyway, it has just been wonderful. So if you are interested in joining the channel, there will be a membership link in the pinned comment. It will also be in the video description. There's going to be some affiliate links in the video description. There'll be a link to the Community Post playlist. Please check it out. There's wonderful music there. Please comment. Let me know your thoughts. I had some people that were just so generous and magnanimous, and out of the goodness and kindness of their hearts, they offered to take some of the speakers I have off my hands so I wouldn't be burdened with them. So guys, thank you so much. But no, I'm going to keep and listen to them. So anyway, comment. Let me know what you think of all of this stuff. Man, what a journey. Anyway, please like, subscribe, comment, follow me on Instagram. Let me know what you think. My name is Ed Homewood. This is the Old Guy Hi-Fi channel, and it's now your obligation to yourself to put on some beautiful music, sit back and relax and enjoy your day. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day.